Hey everybody, and welcome to Crochet Therapy. I'm Barbara, your host for this episode number 6 in our 12 weeks of Crochet Christmas. And I have a little project for you today that you can make in any color, and you can take it with you while you're riding in the car, or keep it in your purse and work on it while you're waiting for an appointment or whatever. This is a little basket with a lid, and it kind of resembles a pot. I really like it. Look, it has a little loop for a handle, and inside is some treasure. Now, keep in mind that this little basket with the lid can also be attached. So if you wanted to take a ribbon or a double strand of yarn and just loop it through here and then loop it through here, you can attach it, and that way, it can be something that can just be hinged and, and used that way. I have not hinged mine yet, but I am going to. I'm sure of it, because I don't want this top to get lost from the bottom basket. So this bottom basket holds facial washcloths. And let me see if I can give you a better look at the stitch. Yes. Okay. So these are facial washcloth rounds. They fit perfectly in the palm of my short little hand. Okay. And I really like them. I use them. I take my hand and I put my hand right here, and then I use this part with soap to wash my face. I rinse it out and I just wipe, put the water on my face to wipe it off. It is a gentle exfoliator. It is using 100% cotton yarn. And the beauty of this is that you can make them in any color you want. You can make them as wild and crazy as you want, or you can make them all, a gorgeous, elegant white or an off-white, or, blue, or if you have a friend who has a really elegant black and gold bathroom, you can make this in black. Anything you like. This is really nice because this is also washable. It's 100% cotton. The only difference between the basket part and the washcloths is that the washcloth, we use one strand of 4 weight cotton yarn, and for the basket we use 2 strands, which is why you see a couple different colors in here. Okay, it's not that the yarn has a variegated colorway. It's that there are 2 strands here. So you can make this any color. When you do the 2 strands, and see, this would be nice if we had, a nice little tie right there just to keep it hinged. If you used the same color for your lid and your basket, then you would just have a nice rich color. I thought it would be really nice, to have it in just a gorgeous red color for those in your life who love the color red, or purple, or blue, or yellow, or whatever color you like. There are also people who like to have different colors, and that way they know, okay, I used the green one on Monday, I used the blue one on Tuesday, and the yellow one, and then you can just keep adding colors to your stash. It doesn't take a lot of yarn, and that's the beauty of it. And then you can just tuck these away, and every morning, every night, when you wash your face, you just pull one out. It's reusable. It's great for the environment. It's so much better than buying those the facial washes that you just toss in the trash. It's better for the environment. It's better for you, because you know what's going into your soap. This would be such a gorgeous idea if you have these, and then you have a little artisanal goat milk soap or something, handmade, and put that in there in the top as well, and then put the lid on and then wrap it. Wouldn't that be just a nice little gift? A nice little homemade gift. And I am just in love with these. I actually use the facial washes every day, and I tell you, it's been a real life changer. However, I didn't have a nice basket with a lid until now. So I'm super glad to have this. I may keep this. I may give it as a gift. I'm not sure. Anyway, I hope that you enjoy it, and stay tuned for the tutorial. Be aware that the lid is made using the same pattern as the bottom and also as the washcloth, the facial cloth. So it's super easy. You only need one pattern for those rounds, and then follow a new pattern way for the sides and this nice little crab stitch border, which holds it so nice and stiff, which is really nice for that. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, let's get started. Now, the things that you will need are yarn. You'll need some cotton yarn in a 4-weight size, and you can get any kind of cotton yarn as long as it's a 4-weight yarn. And if it's a 3-weight yarn, you can use that as well. Your project will be a slightly bit smaller than this one, but it will be fine. What I would do is just go down 1 hook size. If it was a 3-weight yarn, I would go down 1 hook size. So here I have an example of some cotton yarn. We have the Crafter's Secret cotton yarn. That's from Hobby Lobby. This is the I Love This Yarn or Heart Yarn. It's a cotton 8/8, and this one is from Hobby, Hobbii, in Denmark, and I ordered that online. This is just the Peaches and Cream, and it is also a 4-weight yarn. This one I believe I got from Walmart. So there's lots of different places. Premier cotton yarn is very good as well. So any cotton yarn that you find will be great. Just pick your favorite colors, or the colors that you think your recipient will like. The other items that you will need, you'll need scissors. You'll need a needle for weaving in your ends. You will need a size H hook, 5.0 millimeter hook. And this is my favorite. It's a clover hook, Clover Amour, and this is the one that I will be using today. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do, of course, after choosing our yarn, and I think I might use this Peaches and Cream in red. So the hardest part of this, obviously, is finding the center. If you decide to reball it, rewind it into a ball, then that's fine. Maybe I should have done this ahead of time, but here we go, folks. Are you ready? Oh my goodness. I might actually choose this other one just because of that. Let's see if I can get this out. Yeah. Okay, let's try this one. Rewind. Okay, I'm getting my finger in the center of this one. This one, yeah, let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay, so green it is. See how that worked out? Let me see. This one is a 4-weight yarn, and it is 2.5 ounces. Okay, and this is also a 4-weight yarn and 2.5 ounces. So this one must be just wound a different way, or a little bit easier to get free. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is make a magic circle. Okay. Now, before I actually get started with this magic circle, I want to explain to you that we will be using the same technique the same stitches for our facial washcloths as we do for the bottom of the little basket that we're making, as well as the top of the basket, the lid. So these stitches will be the same for all of the washcloths that you make, all of the little facial cloths that you make, as well as the bottom of the basket and the lid to the basket. So I will be going through one time the round with you, and we'll make the facial cloths, and then I will refer you back to this part of the tutorial for the lid and also for the bottom of the basket. Okay? Alrighty, so we are going to make a magic circle. Okay. And of course I always mess up when I'm on camera because I'm holding my yarn a little bit different, holding it out in front of me so that you can see. Alrighty, so we make a magic circle, and then in that magic circle we are going to make 8 half double crochets. And I will do that with you. A half double crochet, you yarn over, go into the loop, yarn over and pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. And notice how I'm holding the bottom of this with my thumb, because this is the first stitch and I want to make sure that it goes through smoothly, and I want to have a nice, neat magic circle. Yarn over, go into the circle, yarn over and pull up, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. That's number 2 stitch, 1, 2. So now we're going to yarn over, go through. This is number 3, number 4, number 5. Okay, and you see this end, this little tail end is starting to get close, so I'm going to give it a little pull. I'm not going to tighten my circle, but I am going to give it a little pull. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on our loop. We're going to do 3 more. 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and I'm going to give this a tug. Not too tight. You see I still have a little hole there, only because I'm going to work directly into this first stitch. We're going to work in the round. Once I get a couple stitches in, then I will tighten this to form a really nice, tight, solid middle. So we're going to count our work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So this right here is the first stitch that we worked in. So I'm going to just remember that is the first stitch. So what we're going to do is yarn over, go into that first stitch, yarn over and pull through, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, and that is our first stitch in the second round. Okay, I'm going to pull the center a little tight. See how it's like that? It may come undone again as we're working this, but we can always give it a tug, and then when we finish this facial cloth, we will give it another tug and we will weave in this end right here, which is in the middle, and that will keep it tight. Okay, so what we're going to do, we are going to do 2 half double crochets in each stitch around. Now we just made the first one in that stitch, so in that same stitch we're going to do 1 more half double crochet. And guess what? I forgot to tell you one other very important thing that we will need, and that is a stitch marker. Let me grab it. Okay, stitch marker is really important for this round, because that way you can keep track of where you are. So we have just put 2 stitches in this second round, so I'm going to go back to 1, 2, and put the stitch marker in that first stitch. Okay, all right, so we made 2 stitches in that first stitch. We're going to make 2 half double crochets in each stitch around. There are 8 stitches in the first row. So when we get done, we should have 16 half double crochets. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, we're back at the beginning because that's where our stitch marker is. So I'm going to pull up a loop and I'm going to go back and count and make sure that I did this correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I did not do that correctly, and I thought that maybe I had made a mistake. Let's go back and see. Oh, and look. Where did I make my mistake? Right here. Okay, right here is where I made my mistake. I only put one. I kind of had a feeling that I had made a mistake. So here we go. Of course, I didn't have to pull that one out, but all of the other ones had 2 half double crochets. So I'm going to go back, and in this one, put 2 half double crochets. See how that is so easy to do? Now, I could have stopped the film and pretended like I never made that mistake, but you know what? How are you going to learn to check for your mistakes if I don't share mine with you? So that's why I count, because I know I start thinking about this and that and I get distracted, and there you go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And we're going to count that. That's the first one. Okay, so there's 16 stitches on our circle, so that's perfect. Okay. And you know what? When we make a mistake, we don't get mad or upset. We just frog it back, especially if we catch it right there where I caught that one. Yeah, we're not going to let that bother us. Are we, gang? Nope. Okay, so this next row will be row number 3, and we are going to put 2 half double crochets in the first stitch, 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, and we're going to go all the way around. And when we get back to the beginning, our last stitch should be 1 half double crochet in the last stitch. So we're going to do 2 half double crochets in this one, 1, 2, and I am going to take my stitch marker and go back to 1, 2, and I'm going to put my stitch marker right in there so that I can keep track. And the next one will be 1 half double crochet. Oop. Half double crochet. And 2 half double crochets, 1 half double crochet, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1. Okay. Now, if I've done this correctly, our count will be right. Let's go ahead and count. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Hallelujah. Okay. Were you nervous? I wasn't nervous. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now, the next row, we are going to put 2 half double crochets in the first stitch, and then the next 2 stitches, 1 half double crochet. The next stitch, 2 half double crochets. The next 2 stitches, 1 half double crochet in each. And we're going to follow that pattern around until we get back to the beginning. Don't forget to put your stitch marker in. That'll help you keep track. And let's go. 2, and 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1. Okay, the last singles. Here we go. Okay, so there we go. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We are on row number 4. Okay. So for our 5th and last round, we are going to continue the trend. 2 half double crochets in the first stitch, and then we're going to go 1, 1, 1. 1 half double crochet in the next 3. So 2 half double crochets in the next, 1 half double crochet in the next 3, and we're going to go all the way around until we get back to the beginning. Okay, so I just did 2 half double crochets in the first, and then 3 half double crochets in the next 3. So I'm going to back it up 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is going to be our first stitch in this row. I'm going to go ahead and put my stitch marker in. I'm going to keep working, and I'll meet you back when we get back to the beginning. Okay, so I'm back at the beginning. Now, what I want you to do is take a look with me. Take a look real close with me. Do you see this circle right here? Okay, this was our beginning circle. Where we started our second row is right here. Do you see that? It's like a spiral. Do you see how that's going? So we have our circle here, and then right here is where the second row started. So as we go in a round, it is very customary for the circle to go to the right as far as the start and stop point goes. So what we want to do, because when we count this row, if we count it right here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. Do you see that? And if I give it a turn this way, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. If we go over to this side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is just between the section where we stopped and where the second row starts. It's just that little bit of gap right here where we only have 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want to bring this 5th row over to line up with the start of that second row. And that way every single row will have 5 rows. Excuse me, every single section of our circle will have 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. But if we go over here where it starts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you see where that is? So we're going to just do half double crochets until we line up with where this is. And I will tell you for mine how far that is. Let's see. So I'm going to keep in mind right here, and we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that was 6 whole stitches to bring me right in line with this. The next stitch, I'm going to do a single crochet, and then I'm going to do a slip stitch. And I'm going to pull up my loop, and I'm going to cut my yarn and pull that through and give it a little tug. And what I did there with that ending was we were using the half double crochet. When I got in the vicinity of the beginning of our work, of the beginning of our second row, I went from a half double crochet to a single crochet and then down to a slip stitch to gradually bring the stitches down so that when I weave in this end, it can be a more round circle. And you're not going to have that little jaunt, that little bump right there. You'll have a little bit of a bump, but not as bad. Okay? So now what we're going to do is weave in this end, and as always, we are going to weave in the end back and forth 3 times to make sure that it is tight. And the general rule is if you go back and forth 3 times, then it's not going to come out. And this is an item that is going to get frequent washings. Not only are you going to use it to wash your face, but then afterwards you're going to, want to wash it as well. So you want to make sure that it doesn't come out, as you're washing it. Now, because I was going this way with my stitches, I want to go the same direction with my needle, and that way it will pull this to the same direction and it won't give it, a bump. Do you see how that's going? So I'm going to turn over my work and I'm going to go down into this first little stitch right here, and then I'm going to work my way down and around. And so you're just going to find, where you want to put your stitches to try and give as good of a nice firm stitch as possible. So we're going to go back and forth. We already went one way. Now we're going to go back and forth. This is the last time, the third time. There we go. Looking good. There we go. And then just kind of give it a little tug, because you don't want this so tight that it, you know, when it gets tugged, that the end is going to come out, and then you'll have a little end there, and people will think it's coming apart when it actually isn't. Now, here's the middle. You see how it opened up again. I'm going to, from the back, I'm going to give it a little tug, and there we go. Voila. So I'm going to use the same technique, and I'm going to weave in this end, and there we go. Okay. So now that's how you make the facial rounds. Okay. They're the perfect size for your hand, perfect size. And it's actually the perfect stitch because there's a little bit of holes to allow the soap to go through, but not enough for your fingers to poke through, or, you know, you are always going to be using this facial scrub. It is always going to be touching your skin and not, you know, your bare hands. So this is really nice. I love this color and I love this stitch. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to start the basket. So the basket itself, and I have one that I'm working on right here. The basket itself, actually, I finished this basket. The basket right here is worked using 2 strands of this cotton yarn. Do you see this? Okay. So when you make your magic circle, just as we did with this, because we're going to use the same exact stitch to do this bottom round, and we're going to do 5 rounds out, and then I'll show you how to do the sides, okay? But when we're working in the round and when we're working this whole bottom, we are going to use two threads of cotton. Okay, so just keep in mind, you hold on to the threads and you crochet just as if they were one thread, okay? All right, so when you're doing the top, let me show you how to do the top. The top is the same way. You start and you use 2 threads at one time. 2 threads at one time, and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds, and then when you get to the 5th round, you go around until, just like before, until you line up with that where that 2nd row started. And then what we're going to do on the lid is we're going to do a crab stitch border. So I will show you, I've already started it on this one, but I'm going to show you how to do the crab stitch border. Okay, so you have your work, you have your yarn and your hook, and you are going to take your hook and go into the next stitch backwards, and then you're going to wrap your yarn and pull through, and then you have 2, well actually you're going to have 4 strands, but you're going to have 2 loops on your hook because each of these strands count as 1 loop. So you're going to have 4 strands, and then you're going to go through all 4. Okay, I'll show you again. We're going to go into that next stitch backwards. We're going to loop around, pull up, and then pull through all of the strands. Go through, pull through, and pull through all strands. This is called the crab stitch. It feels very, 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 very strange at first, okay, because you're going in a different direction than you normally would. Okay, and you see how I'm using both strands like they were one. Let me get more of this yarn over here. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to finish this border. I'm going to finish it all the way over here, and I'm going to show you what the lid looks like. Okay, all right. So the beauty of this is that the basis of all the pieces in this project starts the same. Now look at this thread. Oh, it's not the best, but I will trim that a little later. Okay. Okay, and you see how this is going? This crab stitch border is going to make a very nice sturdy edge to your lid. Do you see? I'm holding it like this, and it just keeps it so sturdy. So this stitch is really important for our lid. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Now on the sides of the basket, I will show you how to do that. But since I had this together, I wanted to show you how I'm working with 2 strands, because what I'm going to do is just show you an example of what I did for the side, because there's only one kind of interesting section to that, and that is the bottom edge. So I want to show you that. This is going to make such a nice gift, and this is a nice gift not just for Christmas, not just for, you know, a stocking stuffer or just a major gift. This is nice for, you know, birthday, for, you know, if you have a ladies' weekend retreat or a girls' trip somewhere. Make one of these for all the ladies on your trip, or on your vacation. You know, if you have a girls' vacay, make one for all the ladies on your girls' vacay, and they have a nice little set to wash their face with. Okay, so I'm coming up on where I started, and where I started is actually right here. So, well, it's right there. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and blend this as well as I can. There we go. And you know what? I might go into this one too. Oops, I'm sorry if I'm going off screen. I'm kind of struggling with the yarn just a little bit and just giving a little fight to the yarn. Oh my goodness, I have a knot. There we go. Okay, now I'm just going to slip stitch. Go through all of it. There we go. Okay. And I'm just going to weave in the ends. I'm going to weave in those ends and make that nice and even. Okay, this side, obviously I'm going to pull and weave in those ends and make that nice. I'm going to show you how we're going to make, I'm sorry for the shaking. I'm going to show you how we're going to make the little handle for our basket. Okay, we're going to take both strands and we're going to make a slip knot. Okay, and we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and I left a nice long strand at the beginning. We're going to tighten this up. We don't want it to be too big. And then we are going to single crochet in the second loop from the hook. Single crochet, single crochet, okay. Alrighty, so then what we're going to do, let's see, that knot is a little big. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do one more. I think one more got lost in there. There we go. This will be better. Okay, because we should have 7 single crochets. Perfect. Okay, that's better. All right. Now what we're going to do is we are going to loop this over, and we are going to take this hook. Sorry. We're going to take this hook and we're going to go into our turning stitch. Right here. And we are going to pull our yarn through both. There we go. And then fasten off. And tighten it. Okay, so now we have a little handle. Now what we're going to do, here we go, I'm going to get a bigger needle, because I'm going to put both through at the same time. Okay, so what we're going to do is take our yarn, both strands of that yarn, and we are going to go, here's the center, we're going to go into a stitch on one side and go all the way through and let go. And then we're going to load this one onto our needle, and we're going to take a look at our work, because what we want is the center of this handle to be over the center of the circle, the beginning circle. So I think if we want to be on the opposite side, I think if I go right in here, that will work. Now, the good news about this is we have not tied it down. So if it doesn't work, we can always undo it. But look at that. Look at the little, it's almost like a little lid, like a little pot handle. Okay, awesome. So we're just going to turn that over. We're going to find both of these. This, let's see, this is from our center. This is from the lid, and this is from the lid. We're going to give it a little tie. And then we're going to weave these ends in. But this little tie will just bring that in and make it nice and sturdy. How cute is that? So here is our basket, and here is our lid to go onto the basket. That's super cute. Now, what I'm going to do for my basket is this side that has the tail end, I am actually going to loop it through, and give it a tie off so that it is always on there. So when I lift it, it's always going to stay connected. And that's how I'm going to do mine. If you don't want to keep yours connected, you don't have to. But this is super cute. And then this is the one that I just did. And here are 2 others. You can make them any color you like. And this will hold 6 facial cloths. So 6 facial cloths can fit into this basket. Let's go over how to do the sides of the basket now, okay? All right. So I'm going to put the lid to the side. Now, we are going to crochet this in the round using 2 strands, using the same pattern that I gave you in the beginning of this tutorial. When we get to the edge, and we have matched up the very beginning with the edge, and you can see that this is where I started. What we're going to do with the next row, so we've done 5 rows and followed that first tutorial. When we get to row number 6, we are going to do a double crochet, not a half double crochet. These are all half double crochets. Once we get to row 6, we're going to change over to double crochets. And we are going to do a double crochet back post only. And I will show you what that means, okay? So we will be doing a back post only double crochet all the way around, and that is going to create this ridge that you see, okay? And that is the bottom of that, or the top of that double crochet. And this is the bottom because we've done a back post only, not back loop only, but back post only. And then from there, we're just going to do 3 rows of double crochet, and then we're done. So this is the tricky part right here, and it's not tricky. It's very easy, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so what we're going to do, okay, I'm going to use this as an example, okay? This is 5 rows. Even though I used 1 strand, I'm going to show you how to do the back post only double crochet with this, okay? Now you are not going to cut your yarn or anything, so you can just continue with what you're doing. Now obviously I cut my yarn on here because I did the facial scrub, but what I'm going to do is, let's just pull this through just like we were continuing, okay? All right, so I have a half double crochet, and this is my last on that row, okay? So what I'm going to do is, it's back post only, so we are going to yarn over, and we are going to go from behind into the next loop, the next post, and go behind that post. We're going to yarn over, pull it through to the back. You have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, go behind, from behind, and go through so that you are wrapping that back post. Yarn over and pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next post, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. And you see how this ridge is starting, okay? And that is going to create the bottom, the base of your basket. That is what's going to make it very sturdy. Yarn over, go into the next post, yarn over and pull through the post, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. And you just keep going all the way around until you get back to the beginning. You'll notice that when you get back to the beginning, you'll know when you're back to the beginning. You notice I didn't use a stitch marker because this leaves a ridge, and it's a very noticeable ridge. So, you know, you can just keep your eye on where you are. You'll notice that as you go up, as you go around, this does go up because it's starting the next row. Okay? So once you get to the next row, then you will continue, and you will just continue doing 3 more rows of double crochet. Okay? And that is how you make the basket. I'll show you how to do that back post double crochet one more time. Yarn over and go in from the back, go around the post and pull through, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through. And that is the double crochet back post only, and you'll get that nice bottom to your basket. Okay? All right, folks, that's the end of our tutorial. I hope that you have a great day, and thank you for joining me. Hit that like button and share this with your friends. Also, if you join my Facebook page and you make this, please share the photo. I would love to see photos of your work. Have a great day, everybody.